end of this emerging market sell-off than the beginning, or not?
Clearly not near the end, I'm afraid. I've got some bad news for you, Jimmy. We're probably, I would say, past the midpoint of the correction, but this is a correction that is going to last for several more months. There have been some big moves already, and maybe some markets have moved more than others, so there's a speed differentiation there, but to me, we have some more pain to go.
So we're talking several more months here. Where will that selling be most concentrated? Are we looking at the same places that we've seen in the last few weeks? For example, India's rupee?
India's rupee is very much on the radar, but of course, given the moves we've seen so far, I would say we are probably closer to the end of the correction. But the dynamics in the short term are clearly not positive, and I'm definitely not going to buy the INR at this point. I'm going to stay very cautious, and we're going to continue to see breaking new lows in the period ahead.
Other currencies also under pressure, like the Brazilian real, for example, Indonesia's rupiah. They have the central banks that are fighting their corner much more so than, say, India and Turkey. But you're not really impressed by these central bank actions, are you?
No, I must say so far I've been very disappointed. I need to see a policy bazooka, I need to see a heavy hand, I need to see a big boost of investor confidence. In many of those places,
Brazil has tried that. 60 billion pledge to fight the currency weakness, and they'll probably raise interest rates today as well.
Yes, in terms of the interest rate hike, it's been well signaled. It's been discussed for quite some time. I would say it will probably have zero impact on the currency. So let's see what happens on the direct intervention front, because they do have the firepower to do something. So they have the means. Will they have the political will, though, is the question. And so far, it's been poorly managed by the Brazilian authorities.
Okay, that's Brazil and Indonesia. They are acting. Turkey, on the other end of that spectrum, doesn't seem to be raising rates or doing anything proactive or strenuous. That must be a real concern.
Real concern and real disappointment. I would say credibility of the central bank is actually going south a bit. I would have hoped to see a much more powerful rate hike. It was a 50 basis point hike in the top end of the corridor last week, very unambitious given the currency crisis mode we are operating under. So I'd like to see much more.
Real money investors, real money accounts, they haven't thrown in the towel yet, and you think that's perhaps the most important turning point here, or not?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, real money investors, emerging markets have been the darling until recently of global markets. A lot of chasing the carry, a lot of chasing the yield investment strategies, and this is being unwound. But I haven't seen aggressive bond selling just yet. If that happens, there's going to be an escalation in financial stress in local markets.